Good morning. See, it's 10:30 a.m. on Friday, July 10th. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd check in here. Let's see. I am in Gravenhurst. I am trapped actually in Gravenhurst at the moment because my van will not start. It has power for the lights and the doors and that, but it will not turn over the engine. I called CAA because actually I was going to Wednesday night go back to the city because it was supposed to rain here yesterday, and I thought, oh, I don't want to be stuck here in the rain in the trailer because it is little, and I needed to go back to the city anyhow, pick up a few things. So I was like, I'll just run back to the city, pick that stuff up, come back Friday when Jeff will be here this weekend. So yeah, I went, packed up stuff, went to start the car, wouldn't start. Called CAA. They came and tried to boost the battery. Did not work. And it worked once before, so so I expected it to work again, but no, it did not. So the question was, and of course you start Googling what happened. What could it be? Unfortunately, the CAA, because of where I am in Gravenhurst, they will not come and test the battery to see if the battery's okay or if the battery is, toast. Could be the battery's toast. Like I've said before, I've killed that battery a few times. It's got a kill switch on it that when it gets down so low in power, because I leave the doors open all the time for the dog, that it will cut power to the battery so that it will only keep enough juice to start up the engine. And normally when that happens, there's no lights, there's no door, it's like dead. You go to open up the door and the remote won't even unlock the doors. That's how little power there is. I have to manually unlock the door and open it up and turn on power. So I know that's not the situation this time. But just in case, I took off the little attachment that is the kill switch, and that made no difference. So I put it back on because I love that thing. Put it back on, and so now we start Googling it, and it says if you go to turn it and you hear one click, that means that it's probably the starter motor, or the relay. So I figured, I knew Jeff was coming on Friday anyhow, and this is Wednesday, and I'm like, you know what, I can survive being here all day, a couple days waiting for Jeff. I'm not gonna have my car towed to my mechanic and all this until I know I have to. So, which I can, because CAA will tow me that far. But the problem was, I didn't want to tow myself down. I have to be here on Monday because I have something happening here on Monday I need to be here for. And my mechanic is closed on the weekend. So there was, unless I towed it down Wednesday night and had him work on it Thursday or Friday and then come back, and I could have done that, but I was just like, let's just see if I can fix it first. I mean, my God, I spent so much money on new tire and paying to have the tire changed because I didn't have the T-bar wrench to take off the nuts, and so I just thought I'd try and save a couple of bucks and see if I can fix it myself. If stuff goes bad and you're stuck on the side of the road, or you're stuck at a campsite or at a dispersed camping or something where there's nobody around and you have no service, you need to be able to fix stuff. So, and I mean, without Google, of course, I wouldn't have a clue what to even look for. But what they did suggest is that it could be, if the boost of a battery did not start the engine, then it could be the starter, the celluloid. But you need two people for that. So I'm waiting for Jeff. He's going to come later today, and what we'll do is either he'll start the van while I'm banging on the starter to see if I can loosen it up and get it started. And if that works and it starts the car, then I know it's a bad starter. And I will definitely have to take it down to my mechanic to get that fixed, because that I can't fix. Now, as to whether I can start the car again on Tuesday without another person here to bang on the starter, does the banging on the starter fix it for a week or is it the one-time shot? We will find out. And hopefully, that works, or if it's not, well, actually, hopefully that doesn't work, because the third thing it could be is just replacing the relay on the fuse box. And that's fairly simple. I mean, mind you, you're going to pay money for that as opposed to not paying anything to have it bang on the starter. But it'll cost me money to fix the starter. So probably the relay, hopefully, is what the issue is. And that I can just buy it at the Canadian Tire. I just need to get Jeff to drive me over there and get it. And then we'll figure out how to install it and replace the one that's there. But yeah, so basically that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here, not waiting for Jeff, because I am doing stuff. But yeah, I'm here in Gravenhurst waiting for Jeff to show up. So we can do that. He needs to clean the house. I'm not cleaning it. I cleaned the other apartment. It was a lot of work. And at the time, I volunteered to do it and help him because I was bored. I had nothing else to do. I'm not bored anymore. Getting used to this retirement life, Wake up at 9. Actually, and I just realized too, I go to bed like at 11 o'clock at night. Sleep until like 9. I like 10 hours of sleep. I love that. I was always like, I have to have at least 8 hours, when you had to work. It was rough, because sometimes you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed at 10 because I gotta get up at 7, or I'd go to bed at 11. I'm like, now I'm gonna only get 7 hours because I gotta get up and go to work. So I got up at 9, walked the dog, walked around the block, come back, made some coffee, did a little doom scrolling. Then I made some breakfast because I got hungry, and now I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I'm going to be doing today is I definitely found that I need storage. I have come to the acceptance that I am going to need a garage in my van, or storage of some kind. I love the storage that I have on the front end of George on the nose. That is very helpful. But then I can also, that's basically the chairs, the table, and the canopy, which technically, other than the table, I can just put on the roof of the van because I do have a bag up there. And I have other stuff up in there. But it's easier when it's just on the front end, because when I get to the spot, pull out the canopy, put it up, pull out a chair, set up the table. It's bam, 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 I'm open, I'm started, I'm ready. But yeah, I need more storage. I need to bring tools with me. I need to bring stuff with me. And it's everything. It's bedding. It's emergency stuff, heat things. Like I have a buddy heater, and I have propane tanks, and I have my fire pit, and then I also have other containers that have ratchet straps and bungee cords and tape and just everything, because you never know what you're going to need when you get out there. At least for now, I never know. So I'm putting back in the shelves that I had at the back of the van. I did have shelves at the back of the van at one time, and but I had used at that time metal shelves because I wanted to be able to flip them up out of the way if I needed to, and they were adjustable that way because they were on the chains holding the metal shelves that you put in closets. But I got rid of them because at one point I thought, I want to be able to extend the bed into the trunk space so I have more room inside. Yeah, no, I don't. I need the storage in the back. So I'm putting in the shelves. I was using bins, but then and I discovered this on my last camping trip. Every time I needed to get something, I'd be like, move this bin, move bins. It was Tetris, moving bins out of the way to get to the bin that had the stuff in it that I needed. Whether it was bug sprays, that was the other thing. I had a container with bug repellent and little bug fans and mosquito coils. Then I had another little bin with all the lights in it, flashlights and light lights, and because it gets dark, so you need lights inside trailer. Because I don't have lights inside the trailer, because I can't plug into the trailer. Can't plug the trailer in and use the interior lights because I have to still figure out the electrical. But yeah, that'll come. But yeah, so I was constantly moving bins to get to a bin that I needed. So I thought, you know what, I need to put in shelves. So, and I'll show you how that works afterwards. But what I'm doing is reusing the old bed frame because I still have all that wood. And ironically, it's very similar to the shelving that I have inside George, which is basically just slats of wood and a brace, which is kind of nice because it's easier to clean because everything just falls between the slats. But they would just fall down to the next one. But everything will still be in bins. It'll just be on bin and a shelf. So, that's why I started that. I made the one shelf that closes off the hole in the back of the trunk where the chairs used to fold in. I'm sorry, I shouldn't do this while I'm eating, while I'm talking while I'm eating. The stow and go seat at the back, the third row. I had taken those out, obviously, so I had that big, huge empty space there that the chairs used to go into, the seats used to go into. So I put one shelf there just to level that off, and then I put building a shelf that's going to be, yay big above it, so I can put boxes or bins there where I can store things. And then I'll put another shelf up a little bit higher because I know when I'm looking out that back window, I can go pretty high, like really high, and still see out the back window, like really high. So yeah, once I get that all organized in the van, I'll probably end up, God help me, wouldn't it be funny if we couldn't fix the car, or it wasn't worth the expense to fix it, and I ended up buying a van, and all of this was for not putting in the shelves. But for now, it's not for naught. I need a place to put everything, to store things that's with me, and I can't put it inside George. There's no room inside George, so I need to be able to put them in the back of the van. I need to keep inside George the things that I need to keep inside George, that I need to have in there when it's raining or inclement weather or whatever, for whatever reason I don't want to get out. So I have all my food and my bedding and cookware and things that I need in the van. But even then, I might sit there and say, you know what, I don't use that oven that much, and I can't use it where it's stored. So I might take it out, put it in the back of the van, secure it in the back of the van, because if I ever use it, I'm going to pull it out and plug it in somewhere. I'm never going to use it where it is. So thinking that way is good, because now I can put the water in there and get that all out the counter. Yeah, lots of things I want to do. And the thing is I can't do it if I don't have tools, if I don't have my stuff, And I need to put in shelves in the van so I can bring stuff with me. So when I'm out and about, I can do stuff. Speaking of being out and about, I think it was yesterday, or the day before. The day before, I reached out to my brother Brian, who's down in Pennsylvania. Asked him what his summer plans were for camping, because he has a big fifth wheel, and he likes to go and take his boat out, go fishing, go camping. He still works, but he said he had booked off a week on July 25th, vacation time. And I'm like, well, that's great. I mean, I have to be back in Aurelia on the 31st, because that is Jeff's birthday week, and we have the campground booked there for 10 days. But he's off on the 25th, so I said, well, are you going camping somewhere? I'll come and join you. And he's like, I haven't booked anything yet. So we ended up booking something yesterday. Found a campsite in New York, and which is kind of nice, because it's probably about 4 hours for me to get there, and maybe about 4 or 5 hours for him to get there, so it's kind of a good middle ground. A very nice campsite. It's got a pool and it's got lots of stuff, and you can still get in the car and go and see other things if you want. But so we booked it for 5 days, from the 25th to the 29th, 4 days. So yeah, we booked that. So I'm gonna go down and hang out with him for a few days there. Now we leave that campsite on the 29th. I don't get into the new campsite until the 31st. I have 2 nights there that I need to figure out where I'm going to sleep. I don't want to come all the way up to Gravenhurst and set up the trailer and everything. But it turns out that I can probably just spend a couple of nights at the casino in Aurelia before I book into the 31st. So I'll probably end up doing that. But, you know, then again, you know, from Aurelia up here, it's half an hour. It's nothing. So I might just sit there and say, you know what, let's just go up. We'll spend a couple of nights up in Gravenhurst and then go down on the 31st and set up in the campground. So, but anyway, yeah. So I'm just sitting having breakfast and rambling on. I do need to, I'll probably, when I'm done chatting and having my breakfast. Sorry, bug just flew by. I'm gonna work on that shelf, get it finished, because I didn't finish it last night, it got too dark. But yeah, so that's the update. There's always more. I could rattle on forever, but I think I'll stop here now. Because this is, oh my goodness, 16 minutes. God, I could ramble on forever. This is bad.